Hello my lovelies, I'm back with some fresh hair to do a really fun tutorial for you guys today using the Makeup Revolution and Patricia Bright Rich in Color palette, which, I mean, the colors in this are amazing, and also the mirror in this is amazing. I wanted to do a really fun look with this. Obviously it has such amazing colors, so we're going to start out by just putting a little bit of Scotch tape down to help give us that nice sharp line, and then we're going to blend some of the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer all over the lid just as a primer, and also because it's a lighter color, almost white nearly, it will help the colors really pop. Then we're going to start with the shade Vitamin C, which is this gorgeous bright yellow shade, and we are going to start by packing that on the inner corner of just one eye, and I'm going to do it about maybe a fourth of the way in. And then I'm going to jump to the shade Yes Peaches, which is, I mean, it's kind of a peachy shade. It's really kind of, I think it's closer to a red than an orange. And I'm just going to blend that right over top of the very edge of the yellow, and then I'm going to build it out a little ways. We're basically trying to create a warm colored gradient here. So once we have that Yes Peaches shade blended, we're going to go in with the shade Miss Tropicana, which is more of a true red. And again, we're just building that up right over top of the outer edge of the Peaches shade, and then out farther even a little bit more. Then we're jumping into the shade Fruit Punch, which is this gorgeous, like, bright pink. And I'm going to take this almost all the way to the outer edge, and again, just blending it slightly over the red shade. And then I want this kind of deeper pink color in the outer V. This is called Pillow Talk. I just want a little bit more dimension. And again, I'm just using the same technique. And I'm going to pull these colors just up to kind of the crease area. I don't want to take it any higher because I am just going to cut the crease there. So there's no point in blending over top of that. And then I accidentally got a little bit of red there, so I'm going to go ahead and go back with some concealer on a little small brush, and at this point you can just clean up your whole kind of through the crease area if you have anything that went a little bit higher up than it should, and then just intensify any colors you need to before we go ahead and move on to the next eye. Which on this side we're going to be doing more of a cool toned eye. So we're starting with the shade Green Juice, which is just a kind of lime green shade. And we're going to put this kind of in the same area that we put the yellow shade. So just on our kind of inner corner, about a fourth of the way in. And for some reason, the greens are going to give me a little bit of trouble. I'm going to go in with the shade Trendsetter, which is more of a true green. And I think it's just this color in particular didn't really like me. I had a little bit of trouble. Oh, the palette's really heavy. That's what I was doing there. I had a little bit of trouble really getting it to build out to the intensity that I want. This was really the only shade that I had a problem with. All the other ones were amazing. And even with this one, I was able to just build it up a little bit, and I just had to go back and blend a little bit more than I did with the other colors. And so we're just going to blend that green, and then once it gets to the point I like, I'm going to jump in with the shade Ocean Deep, which is this really gorgeous turquoise shade, and it has like a little bit of shimmer to it. Like, this color is so pretty. And again, I'm just placing that right over top of the edge of that green, and because these colors are a little bit more different, I am going to go back and forth between them just to make sure we have a good gradient between them, since it doesn't kind of want to naturally do it like the other colors did. And I'm just using kind of a mixture of the brush and my finger to do that. Then, once that is to a place that I like, I'm jumping into the shade Nobu, which is a kind of, in the pan it looks more like a navy blue, but I would say that it actually applies more like a true blue to the eye. And again, I'm just going to build that up over the edge of the turquoise shade. And then for our outer V on this side, It didn't quite make it in the shot very well, but it's the shade Reckless, which is a kind of deep, true purpley shade. And I'm just going to blend that in the outer V and just kind of wing it up the tape like we did on the other side. And then we're just going to kind of reverse back through the colors like we did on the other side and add more pigment or blend anywhere that needs a little bit of extra help. Which this side needed a little bit more of extra help. And yeah, I don't really clean my brush off too much. I just kind of give it a little wipe, and then for our very bright color in the inner corner, I use my finger. Then, just like I did on the other side, I'm going to go back and just clean up the crease if there's anywhere that needs just a little bit of sharpening. And then I'm taking a clean blending brush and just very, very lightly going over the top of each side just to make it look just a little bit softer. Then we're going to pop on some winged liner. I'm using the Ipsy and Betty Boop Drawn to You eyeliner, which is my favorite, if you haven't realized. And yeah, we're just gonna do a little wing here. And I don't know if you can tell, but my first eye did not go very well, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that one. But I wanted to move on and figure out where I needed to get the other eye to, so if you're ever struggling, that's a good little tip. Just move on and come back to it. We're going to go ahead and peel our tape off, and then my camera actually lost some footage, so I just applied my Touch in Sol No Poreblem primer, and then I used the e.l.f. Moisturizing Foundation Stick as foundation and concealer, and then set it all down with my Coty Airspun powder. Now I am taking the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. This one's in the shade Deep Brown. And I am just filling in my brows with this. And since my hair is now darker than it was, I'm just going a little bit more heavy-handed than I normally would. Then once those are all nice and filled in, we're going to finish up the eyes. And we're literally going to follow the exact same colors as they appear on the on our eyelids. So I'm going to start by applying the green juice shade, then the trendsetter shade, ocean deep, Nobu, and then reckless. So you're literally just repeating what you did on your top lid with just a little short shader brush on your lower lash line. And again, same thing with the other eye, starting with Vitamin C, then Yes Peaches, Miss Tropicana, Fruit Punch, and Pillow Talk for this side. And again, I'm just doing kind of the same routine where I just apply the next color slightly over the other one to help it really blend in. And then just going back and blending as needed. And I totally love these colors in this eyeshadow. Like, they're so pretty. We're going to jump into kind of the highlighting shade for this palette, which is the shade Shimmering, which is a white with almost a little bit of a gold reflect. And I am going to apply this on the inner corners of my eyes, as well as my brow bone. And I am just applying it until it's built up to the intensity that I like. I don't want it quite as strong on my brow as I do on my inner corner, so I'm just ever so lightly blending it out with my finger after I apply it on there. We're going to go ahead and finish up the face, going in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And of course just blending it in the typical areas, cheekbones, forehead, temples, and then on a smaller brush down the sides of my nose. Then we're going to take this super cute brush that I got and apply some blush. This is one of the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes in the shade Blissful, which is just kind of a maybe ever so slightly kind of melon shade, I would say. Then we are going to go ahead and highlight with, this is the OFRA and Madison Miller Moondance highlighter, which is super pretty. It's almost kind of a champagne gold. And we're of course just going to put that in our typical areas. So down the nose, Cupid's bow, and then just a tiny bit on the forehead and chin. And then I'm really going to build it up on my cheekbones. Since we have some bright eyes, I want some really beaming highlight to go along with it. Then we're going to set everything down with the NYX Bear With Me spray. Just going to give a little spritz before we put our mascara on here because I don't want it to like run or anything. While I'm letting my face dry down, I'm just applying some of the GrandeLips Hydrating Lip Plumper to get my lips ready to go. And then we are going to curl our lashes here and apply some of the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. Surprise, surprise. I still haven't found a mascara that I like better than this one. It just works really well for me. And we're just going to apply a couple of good coats on both our top and bottom lashes for this one. I will be applying false lashes here in just a minute, so I'm not putting too much on. And the lashes we're going to be using today are the Amy June lashes in the style Rita. And we're just going to get those on really quick. And I think they also looked just gorgeous with this eye look. Like, I just love the way they made the shadow look. I don't know. All of it together. I just loved it. Lashes are on. And then we are, of course, going to pop on a lip. I want something kind of neutral, kind of glossy. I'm going to really press my lip plumping product into my lips here. And then we will be applying some of the Milk Makeup Kush Lip Balm in the shade Nug. And then that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. I had so much fun with this look. I don't do bright, bold looks enough, so it was really fun to step out of my comfort zone. I also absolutely love this palette. If you're interested in a bright palette, definitely check this one out. Please, please, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. And go ahead and hit that share button and share with your friends. It helps me out a ton. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.